But hello there, everyone. Welcome back to Corey Loses for the continuation of our Thrawn's Revenge 3.2 preview playthrough as the Eriadu Authority. In the last few episodes, we have been taking our assertor on a path of destruction, trying to set up our Dynasty of Evil, and fucking also something else about Darth Bane. But we are trying to get up to Tangren here. We have some forces on Yavin that are going to be going to Sereno in a second. Because Tangren is where Isan Isard is. So we are going to be trying to set up probably a hypervelocity gun on Yavin. Stations. We'll see. Maybe we won't need that, because it's a pretty far jump down there. But let's unpause so that we can send this fleet from Contrum into Garros.
Star Destroyer reporting in.
And maybe we'll even move that out of here. Yeah, because we'll probably just auto-resolve when this happens. Because one ISD was not going to be enough to beat this. Just spoiler alert. How do you make the name ships in AWX? Is that a dev-specific thing, or is the way to edit it? It's the same way that I'd add any other ship. They're basically coded as individual ships. It's not an editor that's in-game or anything like that. It's just, when I do these playthroughs, I code them in separately. So I code them in the same way any other ship would be, and they're just variants with different tags for the name and to limit the buildability.
Choose your reinforcements.
But we have our torpedo sphere here. We have the Bastion. I'm not sure. No, this is one of the heroes. Yeah, that's not any old torpedo sphere. Iron Hand of Justice. Furious Abyss. Let's throw in some IPVs on the front here. Got Prancer. We got Ghost of Knight's Revenge. Spoilers of Cadia. And Point Defense goes Agora. We still also have Corey Love's release date questions in reserve. Complete lie. Alright, so we have few fighters coming in at us, but not that many bombers. At least not enough that they're going to be able to kill us in a short period of time. We have enough of our own heavy bombers to go in though. And these regular bombers... Let's get out there. Hey, how dare you? What do you think you're doing?
Disabling their engines.
We just got here, and now you're already running? Okay, well...
Destroy the engines. Direct fire on the engines.
I don't think we'll be able to get through
Direct fire
too many
on the
more
engines.
ships.
Yes, Commander.
Like, they invade on their own accord, they send their units at me, and then they have the gall to leave just because they don't like what's being served for dinner? It's rude.
Disabling their engines.
Bye. Can't please them all. So they definitely came from Roche. It's probably best to leave this bigger fleet at Garros anyways. Where is our assertor? You have our assertor? You don't have our assertor. It's in the south, isn't it? No. Where did I send it? Assertor, where are you? Assertor? You're a ground army. Does Predic have it? Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, it's sitting on Coruscant. So it's probably going to want to go to Borleus. We do need to get out to Bilbringi. So we are still going to be focusing up here, so we don't want to do it just quite yet. How is the Lumaya army in this one? Pretty good. So let's get you, the Rumpled Rhodian, up here. And we use some of the money we just made to get them. I want to get a shipyard somewhere. I don't know if it's worth getting. Yeah, let's get the capital shipyard first. We'll do it that way. We want to go to Sereno next and then Tangrin. Gnosis is asking, is there any word on Sin's ascendancy? Last update I heard was 2020. Been chaotic, want to check in. We basically solved the issues we needed to get the Blender exporter mostly functional. I did a stream last week, just playing around with some stuff. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to post the episodes recorded from that stream because it was a janky clusterfuck. My internet died 30 times, and for whatever reason, recording in, I hope it's just because it was in dev mode, had the mouse offset by about 3 inches, so I'm not posting it. It super jank, but on Twitch the VOD should still be there. I'll leave it there just for anyone who missed it but may want to check it out. And you can see some of the stuff that's changed, but I am working on getting the models converted, like the updated models converted, before I do any other unit changes. There'll be some roster changes after
Building under construction.
after we have the current stuff updated. I'm going to try to do things in steps there, but it's not dead. It should start actually speeding up over the next little while. You know what, rather than building this up too much, I kind of want to go and take Roche, or... No, I'll leave it for now, because we're probably going to want to go into the Greater Maldrude territory a bit more. Like, if we send a fleet out from there, once we've taken Sereno, going the opposite direction.
Right away.
We're kind of focusing on the Greater Maldrude right now. I don't want to take away the New Republic's ability to fight them. Once we want to invade the New Republic, we're going to send Delvardis at the same time. And that should really get this ground army ready for that as well. You don't have an AT-AT. Do you have any... You have some infantry, not enough infantry.
Recruiting.
Let's get you some infantry.
Recruitment canceled.
Let's get 2 of those. And we are ready to invade Sereno. He was asking, does Eriadu Authority have hero SSDs or just the generic Assertor and Bellator? They also get access to Nighthammer, with just the N, not the K.
Choose your reinforcements.
Moving out.
Anus. Rasoon. Stormbringer. And our KDY strikes. We've also got a named one, responding to Superior. And we'll send the better anti-rocket ship in, because we don't want them escaping from here. They've got their own interdictors, so it's not tacky to bring our own.
Let's move out.
Water and Sewage Authority, Devastator, and Comet.
Navigating to coordinate.
We'll let the
Understood.
gladiators mostly rest. You know what always remain. And,
Heading in now, sir.
why not?
Intercepting.
Awaiting your orders.
He won't be around much longer.
Awaiting your command.
Ready to receive orders.
Okay,
Engines activated.
send them over there. The strike cruiser interdictors
Stay in
seem worryingly common right now.
Gladiator at your command. Data Star Destroyer reporting.
Need to check either the tech level or something on them. See what they're doing with that.
Detected. Eyes reporting in.
Reporting in.
Link active.
But let's send You over to the stations. The radio stations.
Sir. Closing on target. Locking on.
Destroyer here.
I'm on them.
How goes the fight? The fight!
Coming around. Roger that.
We've bisected the galaxy, which is a good sign.
I've got the
Even the planets that are kind of in a thin line, I think we've got a pretty good shot at defending. Playing our first campaign off Cruel was definitely making it a bit smoother.
Copy.
coming back around for another run.
Order confirmed.
Enemies in range.
Between this and the Greater Maldrude one, it was nice to have one that progresses a little bit faster than the PA did.
Target critical.
So,
Coming around.
Excellent shot.
Awaiting orders.
Engaging the enemy.
just good to have
I've got him. Intercepting. Orders, sir.
some that don't go on for 6 months sometimes.
I'm on this one. He's about to be destroyed.
Sir,
Roger. He's headed your direction.
I've got him.
Ready for command, sir.
I do think the... Even off of Cruel, with like fewer enemies per battle, the battles end up being
Let's finish.
more difficult than they have been prior, just because of the changes to unit size detection.
Gunship reporting.
I'm on them.
And I think that's something that more than pretty much any other individual change to the AI
Direct fire and then laser cannon.
or unit stats has
I copy.
made the AI harder to beat. It's because the AI is able to group its units more efficiently and effectively, or combine those into one word if you want.
Firing target. I've got them in my sights. Squadron stay.
Well, Bob, it's because it's just so much better at actually executing what it's supposed to be doing now.
Intercepting.
So it's not running around with like a blindfold on.
I'm on them. You won't be around much longer. Enemies in range.
Awaiting orders. Attack that target. Batteries online.
Attack.
Awaiting your orders.
On ground, the change to make them go after the different landing zones and other map features before rushing you when you're invading, that was kind of a similar effect.
Commander.
But one of the things when Fall of the Republic testing first started especially was the testers not being used to how important unit positioning was. So it's definitely had a considerable impact.
I've got him. I have them now.
Mando's asking, how do the tier 5 legitimacy heroes work? The same way as the other legitimacy heroes. Just you'll be limited to only getting one from the tier eventually. Right now, in this build, I'll be able to get all of them, which would mean a lot of SSDs if we build them all. But that won't be a thing that you can do in actual release build. So like every time you unlock a legitimacy hero, the tier at which you can get them goes up, and you get one from that tier for the first unlock. But when you get to level 5, it's gonna get you one and then drop back down in the future, so that you can only get like Runger or Drommel or Dankor, I think is the other one.
Ready for battle.
I think there's actually 4 SSD ones now.
Eliminating target.
But yeah, you can only get one of them. Beyond that, they work the same way. You roll the group, and then you get the ship, and then you have it.
We are victorious.
Star Destroyer standing by.
Yeah. Executor, Vengeance, Mandator 3 option. Second Executor or anything? Yeah, second Executor. For some reason I was thinking they were 4 unique, but doesn't sound right.
Acknowledged.
Fate. Okay, we don't want to go into that fight without having more anti-fighter support. You may as well join that that ground force.
Reporting.
Construction complete.
And kinda makes sense to go you up here.
Order confirmed.
We want to use that fleet to attack Borleus.
Reporting.
Did we ever see a cannon manager 1, 2, or 3?
Destroyer
The
on-
designs, no. They never got an official design. So, like a lot of the ships that don't get
Construction.
much more than a name in universe, we've made our own for that. Far Shot doing that design. And Mr. Puerto Rican is finishing up with the skin on that. Or continuing the skin on that. The New Republic still has their alcove in there. Yeah, we do need to take out Zinj at Arinda, I believe is where he was. Dathomir did not have Zinj himself on it. So once we do that, then I think we can take Dathomir by integration. Because that'll be leader gone. That's a lot of juggernauts. That's going to be 6 juggernauts at once, I think. Because I think, yeah, their heavy vehicle factory gets the juggernauts. Out of my pocket phone. You were uncomfortable. Well, I'm uncomfortable with you in my pocket. I don't know if the phone feels comfort or discomfort. Alright, we got some of our fancy new heroes.
Reinforcements.
Awaiting orders.
Soren. I'm not gonna put all heroes in. Okay, you are Ursaphon. Get over there with your ping ability.
Ready. Advancing. Yes, sir. Roger.
And I think we'll want the Lancet Wings. I'm hesitant to put in artillery against them, but we'll put in the 1Hs.
Reporting in.
Juggernaut ready.
Roger that.
Destination set.
Form up.
Hopefully you don't just get run over or something.
We've secured a landing zone.
Awaiting orders.
Aerial artillery reporting. Engines activated.
Copy.
Brigade standing by.
I copy.
Still haven't seen them yet.
Armor ready.
We want in on that side. Let's get an AT-AT,
Set.
a 1M.
Acknowledged.
Reporting. Squad, move out.
Get over there.
Just give me a
And
time.
we're gonna try to set up at
Order
these build pads.
Reporting.
There they are. Blast them. Yes, Commander.
Oh.
Right
Okay,
away.
so no, they get AT-ATs, not 6 juggernauts. Means we probably want you to be an AV or AV turret.
Constructing.
Tank brigade ready.
Orders, sir.
Ready for orders. Receiving orders. Attacking. Firing.
Reporting. All right, men.
Okay, just
At the ready.
go for it.
Moving to secondary position.
Spawn, go and help them.
Awaiting orders.
You know what, Fawn? You don't need to help them. You're fine. You've got an ability.
Yes, Commander.
Use the ability.
Storm.
Lumaya... I don't think we want Lumaya for this one, actually. We will get the artillery now.
Coordinates. Ready.
There we go.
Squad, advance.
Ready to receive orders.
Yes, sir.
Comlink active. As you wish.
May as well destroy this, even though it's not going to be doing anything for them right now.
Roger.
AT-AT ready.
Up.
New coordinates.
Over here.
Standing
I think
by.
we'll get
Reporting.
a repair pad, and we'll get a vision thing.
Roger that. Lancet targeting.
You can also be a repair station.
On my way.
See what they're doing over here. Yeah, they've got their juggernaut set up there. Deploy our artillery.
Bombing run available.
I don't think they actually have a planetary shield. No.
Construction complete.
But we should be able to bomb through here at least. I don't think anything else would be safe to try. They're probably gonna live through that. Alright, back up. I probably could have gotten this one, but I wasn't sure if they had any turrets or anything. I'd rather just kill that than waste the attempt. Okay, here comes another AT-AT. Which I think with everything we have here should be enough to either kill it outright or force it to want to retreat. Alright, it's standing its ground there. Brave of you. Very foolish. Okay.
Moving out. Awaiting orders. Squadron moving out.
That should be enough for the Lancets to come in, and they can hit that from here. Getting in the base. We're probably not going to be taking the field base with this one.
I'll copy. Scanning target.
Or the victory point, not field base. Two very different things. ATICT, or ATIC in TR. A giant cannon that shoots slightly up into the back would be... I don't know if you've played Empire at War before and seen how the pathfinding and targeting works for that. It would be terrible. Having to have your AT-AT turn around to fire. That just sounds like a recipe for uninstalling the game.
Right away. Yes, sir.
Oh, let's move back.
Form up. Moving. Let's roll. Reporting. Fire. Moving out.
I'm gonna try to send these to support the rest of our units. Where is Fawn? What do we want Fawn to do?
Awaiting orders.
What I think Fawn do is Fawn kill you.
Ready. On my way.
Stop it. Stop it. Alright. Turn around in there.
Right away. Order acknowledged. Targeting. Heading out.
Okay. Stay on here. Just scare it away so that the AT-AT can get back. There we go.
Yes, sir. Let's move out. Open fire.
Alright. Now, let's see how our happy little family's doing over here. Pick out the heavy one. You can get in the base.
Tank brigade ready. Attack. Yes, sir.
Reporting in. Attacking.
Affirmative. Fire.
Roger that.
Orders.
Our base is under attack.
Reporting in. Commencing attack.
How are you actually doing? You're fine. Oh shit, there's the AT-AT. Just get out of there.
As you wish.
Well, take out the AA turret, because we're going to want to send these guys back in first. You don't need to be that far in. You're fine. You get back. Bomb that now.
We'll back you up.
Awaiting orders. Cannons charged.
There.
Attack.
Target over you.
Now, Count Dooku's poor home planet belongs to me. I mean, it's not poor because of that. Like, we've been treating our planets nicely, I think. I'm not going to explode it or anything. I think it's entirely been reasonable.
Copy.
what do they have on here? Nothing that's gonna blow up the Lancets. Go blow it up. Kill that. Your new favorite faction, point 2? I don't know. I like all of them now. They all have a lot of unique reasons to like them. Except for Empire of the Hand on Ground, which is still janky as shit. Not janky as shit, but like just one notch above janky as shit. Because before it was janky as shit. Now it's janky as hell. Is janky as hell one step above janky as shit? I think it is. Which we will be addressing, but probably not in any reasonable way for point 2. We want... It's fine. We want... Tenacity. Want... I may be slow, but I pack a punch. Win. We are going for the win. Alright. So, I'm gonna quickly save here, just in case. After getting our first crash in a while this morning on Maldrude. I mean, EF is janky on the ground. They're not janky in space, at least. I mean, luckily I'd saved right before the Greater Maldrude crash, but crashed in a pretty big battle. So we got invaded on Borleus, I want to say. I think it was Borleus. No, it was Ord Mantell. We got invaded over Ord Mantell by the New Republic with a pretty big fleet, and it crashed during that. I'm not sure if it was like a problem with the MC-90 death clone or something. Akbar did not make it out of that alive, but it doesn't. It all happened in a separate timeline. Speaking of Borleus.
The enemy is approaching.
Choose your reinforcements.
We have Rise of the Federation.
Heading to destination.
Saskatoon Berry Pie. I'm gonna die like this. There's little brother. Party starter. Hafnir. Firehawk. Harkin's Fist. And here you go. Leave the other interdictor in reserve.
Star Destroyer.
Talk to the weapon systems.
Get behind them. Focusing all target priority. At your commands.
Alright.
Target at maximum
Just
range.
shoot everything.
Firing barrage.
Powers to weapons.
Direct fire at their laser cannon. Awaiting your orders. Reporting in. Target those lasers. Navigating to coordinate. Launching attack. Awaiting your command. The lasers
Okay,
are on.
that is enough on you. And we'll start moving onto the Golans.
Roger that. Direct fire at their laser cannon.
Once we have Borleus and Bilbringi, we'll be able to send some forces into the Empire of the Hand front. Okay, no, Allegiance, what are you doing? Rise of the Federation, you go that way. You don't leave. You were never told that your job was done. Your job's not done till the battle is won.
Awaiting orders.
You can't just leave like that. This is not a voluntary service. This is Paramount Plus. You cannot cancel your subscription. You have to stick there with your sorry the page won't load, and please check out our 3 shows that we have on here. I'm not even joking. It's like 3. I mean, soon there'll be Halo, which looks not fantastic.
Awaiting orders.
Awaiting instructions. Reporting. Those torpedo
It's
launchers.
kind of weird, to be honest, but we'll see. I've unsubbed from it a few times, Paramount Plus, because Sleverd and I One of the other devs who also does shows up in a bunch of videos and streams sometimes, especially the Sunday ones. Edge of Despair. You should all know. We've been watching Survivor for about 3 years, where I've seen all the seasons of it. I watch it as it airs, but Slever and I have been going through and rewatching everything with a spreadsheet where he makes predictions and then we judge it. But Paramount Plus, which is like the CBS, it used to be CBS All Access and whatever else, it doesn't even have the first 30 seasons of Survivor anymore. So when we were only at like season 28 or 29 when they got removed. So I was trying to cancel my subscription, and then I'd get it back when we got to the seasons that it does have. And just anytime you go to the cancel page, it just says they can't load that page right now. It's like, okay, nice try, guys. But it is a nice try, because I'm not about to call anyone and be like, hey, I don't want this anymore. So we move forward to another season that is on it. So we've skipped the second half of season 29, San Juan del Sur. Like I don't like talking to people. It's on the phone especially. Like I'm not interested in that. So it's less awkward for me to. I'm gonna have to do it eventually. Like, we're gonna be done Survivor at some point, and then I'm not paying for CBS All Access. But at that point, I'll have to make a decision on like how much per month is my lack of discomfort worth. So we'll see. Rip Firehawk. I mean, my job is basically constant public speaking, but I am very shy, so I don't like doing it in my spare time. Because anyone here has opted in. Like, they have chosen to be here and listen to me. If they don't want to listen to me, they can leave. There's no expectations that I'm going to do anything specific. If they don't like what's being offered, then fine. Whereas if I'm calling someone while they're at work, there's an obligation they have to talk to me, and I'm like setting up expectations for how I'm supposed to act and they're supposed to act, and it isn't how I enjoy doing social interactions. Communication consent, like actual consent, and not doing stuff for your job. I guess that's kind of what I'm going for there. I mean, yeah, I could cancel my the payment option, I'm pretty sure, but I think that's also on the page that doesn't load. It's a whole thing. Well, what I'll usually do is if I have to call for something, like when my TV was broken, I had to call to get that fixed, to get people actually involved in getting that fixed, and I have to cancel all this. Very sadly, we might be able to hold off on some of this, but yeah, to get that fixed, and I had to call a bunch of people, like 6 hours on the phone with getting sent in circles.
The enemy has been spotted.
But you start like planning out what you're gonna say when you're waiting on hold, and then if the conversation deviates from the pre-planned script that I have in my head, I can't do it. I completely lose track of where I am, and I'll start responding to things with sentences that make no sense.
Ready for action.
For one of the calls, I I thought like, okay, I'm gonna say hi, they're gonna say hi, or they're gonna say hi, I'm gonna say hi. They're gonna ask what I need help with, and then I'm going to say something else. Like, I'm going to give this explanation. It was all planned out. But when they actually answered, they said something that was not in the script I had provided beforehand. And so when I got to the thing that I was supposed to say later, and I was very tired when this was happening, but I started off my explanation of what was going on with throwing in the hi that I never said earlier, and it was...
Heading out, sir.
Reporting in.
This was months ago, and I still think about it sometimes. I think it's just phone calls. I just fucking hate phone calls. That's all it is.
Ties reporting in.
Phones don't exist for phone calls. They exist for text messages and, like,
Roger that. Heading out.
Yes, sir.
browsing websites when nothing else. Or checking YouTube Studio for comments and responding to comments on video.
Attacking target.
Destroyer here.
Looking at analytics.
Copy. Closing on enemy.
Orders, sir.
Like, I've never called a... Having worked at a phone helpline before, I've never called one myself under the impression that they had that much of a desire to speak to me. Like, I worked for the census in 2016, so that involved, like, answering the phone, helping people fill out their census and stuff, like other similar jobs. So even with that, it's like, okay, they're not calling because they particularly want this interaction either. They're calling because they have to, because they don't understand how to do their census. That's kind of what goes on there. All right, they're trying to escort Ilor, separating them a lot more than is ideal for them, but it's nice for me. So everything I said earlier about the battles being harder because of that, we are setting out the window right now. They're also kind of being kept back to deal with the fighters, rather than pushing forward with them.
Getting a lock. Enemy craft.
Aw, Bob improved his behavior. Well, it's not unfortunate for me, it's unfortunate for everyone who plays after me. Like, when I worked at Tim Hortons, I worked first at like the regular tills and making coffee and stuff, and then I got kind of shifted more to the sandwich bar. Also, the assistant manager really didn't want to take the deliveries anymore, so even though I'd only worked there for about 2 months, I only worked there for 3 months total, but when I was about a month and a half to 2 months in, the assistant manager was like saying that I should get promoted so that I could be scheduled on the shifts with the deliveries, so she wouldn't have to be. Like, okay, well, thank you. I'm sure this is a totally reasonable thing to do. Is it insulting to say Corey looks like a Tim Horton? I don't know what that means. I look like a hockey player? Or, like, I look like a donut? People think a Tim Horton is a donut? I don't think I look like a hockey player. I don't have a mullet. I have, like, the classic 90s hockey hair. We need to get this other new group out here. No, don't use your power to shields. You were enjoying death. Okay, this needs to die. Get your ion cannons out of here.
pursuing enemy forces.
Yes, sir. Those
He's about to
lasers
be destroyed.
Our primary target is the fire. The lasers are our target.
He's headed your direction.
This is gonna go much worse now.
The laser cannons.
Bombers, just go in and bomb stuff.
Star Destroyer reporting in. The lasers are our target.
We need to kill this hardpoint and then just switch to the Dauntless, I think. Go for the Dauntless. Because you can finish this off.
Narrowing position.
What are your orders?
Bring them in more.
Attacking.
Like, there's a chance we could win this.
The lasers are our target.
Bomber standing by. Awaiting orders. Attacking. Awaiting orders. Taking fire. Attack position.
I think I need to switch them over to this other MC-80. That bomber squad is going to be a problem. The medium turbo lasers. There's just the one turbo laser left on this, so if we can kill that first, that's going to be more hull damage down.
Station ready. Ready.
And get over there.
I copy.
We're not going to have any more vigilances, fortunately. But we do have a lot of vigils still.
Come about. Charge laser cannons. Eliminating target.
Gaylord doesn't have a command bonus, at least. Okay, are we breaking through? Yeah, we got through the shields there. Vigils on that. Got the Dauntless. No, the ISD-2 hasn't been buffed. It was just we had a almost equal amount of smaller ships, and the Liberties only got in towards the end.
Copy. Firing.
Okay, you are just ion cannons, so you don't need to
Garrett commander here.
back.
Primary target. Reporting. Moving to sector.
Go after the stragglers.
Come about.
I copy.
I'm losing.
Engaging the enemy.
Or one ion cannon, Starhammer.
Reporting.
I think that's death number 2 for Starhammer.
Command available.
It did a good job.
I got it.
What are your orders?
We've lost the iron.
Carrick on.
Vigil, can you...
Charge
What
laser
do you
cannons.
have? You have 2 light turbo lasers. You still got more vigils, at least.
Where'd he go?
Nowhere to run.
Garrett commander here.
I got one.
Attacking.
There goes the turbo lasers off of you. Rest in peace, Starhammer. Go take a well-deserved nap.
Moving to
This was a Pokemon episode, that's what I'd say.
Come about.
I'm really looking forward to doing the Pokemon stream.
Charge laser cannons. Carrick en
Arceus.
route. Attacking. What are your orders?
I downloaded it day of release. I haven't played it yet. I opened it to see if there was like a starting cinematic or something, and there wasn't. There was just the character creation, so I closed it immediately. And
For the Empire.
so what's gonna happen is I'm gonna stream it tomorrow.
Reporting.
We're gonna get like 6 viewers, and then I'm gonna stream it Wednesday night. We'll get like maybe 5,
Stragglers.
and if that happens, then I'll play it offline. But we're gonna start it off on stream.
For action. Comlink active. Bombs.
Hey, what the hell, Liberty?
Station ready. Locked on. What are your orders?
This is supposed to be how Liberty dies.
Come about. Carrick en route. Charge laser cannons.
We're not sending.
Garrett commander
They're all
here.
still too alive.
Sir, Orbital command available. Open fire.
Ready. Engines activated.
As long as they're attacking the fighters and bombers, they're not attacking the station.
Understood.
Not that it'd do much good. Anyways.
Come about.
The bombers, your accuracy against the CR-90 is
What are your orders?
great in the first place, so just stay back maybe.
Charge laser cannons. Capture command. Locking on
Enemy
target.
craft.
Target locked. Fire.
I'm losing.
Copy. I copy. Moving out.
Alright, I need to send the bombers around.
Let's
Still one over there though.
receiving message. Primary target acquired. Reporting.
After a while, the MC-80 is not going to be within killing distance.
Target in sight.
Let's move these guys forward.
Attacking.
Yes, kill it.
Target the end.
Carrot commander here.
Gotta all focus on it, because otherwise it's just gonna power the shields back up.
Reporting. Come about.
Yes.
Bombers.
Heading for attack position. Where'd he go?
I know the fighters aren't gonna be doing a lot of damage, but any amount helps.
Nowhere to
There we go.
take out those engines.
Thank you, Peacomatic. Appreciate the sub. What are some of people's favorite mods, Star Wars or other? One of the best mods for any game is Star Trek Armada 3 for Sims.
Moving to
Definitely worth
sector.
playing.
Charge laser cannons.
There we go. Can we get some thunderous applause in chat, please?
Attacking.
Now
Carrot
that the
gone.
Liberty's dead. Alright, Ilor.
Understood.
No! How dare you? How dare this perfectly predictable thing happen?
Move
Back
out.
there now. I need to re-queue everything now.
Unit in production.
Ooh.
Constructing unit.
Do.
Production.
I'm gonna get the ads this time. We'll get
Constructing
Lunchbox there.
unit.
If the New Republic wants to keep attacking like that, then we're gonna have to do something about it. But I think that's actually gonna do it for our first episode for the day. So for those of you watching on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you next time. For those of you watching on Twitch, we're gonna keep going in a second. Isn't that exciting?